Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, C. Raj Chawla, Vice Chairman, MSME and Startup Committee of ICI. Welcome you all. Along with CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, Chairman, MSME and Startup Committee of ICI. Also, we have with us very senior, seasoned MSME person, Mr. Sanjeev Chawla. He is the Director of MSME, State of Haryana and Punjab. And also we have with us as a coordinator, CA Manoj Lamba ji. He is also expert in MSME. And I welcome you all in this today topic, growth of MSME sector in India. MSME are the backbone of Indian economy as it contributes significantly to the India's GDP. The government is trying to push the MSME sector through various schemes and benefits to protect the interest of MSME sector. And we have seen in the month of March also that this 43BH has made a significant played a role in the payment of MSME. As we all are aware that the government of India has recently revised the definition and threshold for MSME sector, and which include the service sector also, which is a great move. And also during Corona period, we have seen that this MSME traders are also been allowed to register under this MSME with effect from 2nd of July 21, but for limited benefits only. So ICI, being a partner in nation building, is also making every effort towards awareness of MSME registration scheme of MSME provided by central as well as state government. Though the committee on MSME and startup, we introduced certificate course on MSME and trained nearby 2,000 plus professionals for MSME. We have introduced state-specific books about various benefits provided by state government to MSME, and these all books are available on our website. On occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, our committee organized a program called MSME Bus Yatra, 75 days, 75 city and 75 program, which traveled across India in 75 cities in 75 days to make awareness about registration of MSME. And believe me, viewers, that on 15th of August 22, the number of registration under MSME were around 1 crore. And as on today, if you see the number of registration within a span of 1.5 years are 3 crore plus. So there is a significant change in the number of registration, and the big this contribution goes to ICI only, because ICI through its Bus Yatra, MSME Yatra, and through its branches across India has given this boost to the MSME registration, and various scheme of government and other bankers and financial support available in this regard. As we know that if you are a registered MSME, in that case government is giving loan up to 5 crore without collateral security. Earlier it was 2 crore, but with effect from 1st of March 23, the amount is 5 crore. So if you are registered, you can get these benefits. The success of program can be proved that our awareness program, the number of registration has increased significantly. So with this word, I will not take too much time. And now I request my chairman, CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, to take up this webinar forward.
Thank you, Raji. I think this is an important topic for the country. I think the country which is on the path of the GDP growth, and the companies the country is moving for the industrializations, and the country looking forward a $1 trillion economies, $5 trillion economies, and where the MSME growth is important. And we have seen in the world benchmark ratio of the GDP from the MSME coming the 60%. And if you see it in India, it's about 30%. So there are a lot of opportunities and areas for the improvement for the MSMEs. And that is why the government of India is coming various initiative and programs and incentives for the MSME growth. And now it's important that where the country had around 94% are the micro, and 4% are the you know, small, and rest 1% is MSM, is a medium enterprises. And the growth going to be happen from the micro going to small, small going to medium. And that is the reason we all chartered accountants will play important role for the contribution of the countries in the MSME health. And when we chartered accountant spread across the India in more than 1,70,000 paid course, we chartered accountants are helping our all clients in the various stages. When we chartered accountant are helping in the incorporation, in the tax return filing, in the audits, assurance, planning. When we chartered accountant have seen the growth, path, so business solution provider for the industries, then why can't we for the MSME? When we are having the CFOs in the big organization like industries, where the professional people running the company like CFO and CEO, why can't the same can be replicated in the MSME? In MSME, why can't in small and medium enterprises hire the virtual CFO? Why can't the small enterprises also take the benefits of CXO services? And now we all chartered accountant rather working in the area of compliances part. We should uh, have the focus on the consulting part, where we can provide them about the planning, about the strategy, about the digital marketing, about the the funding, about the project financing, about the how the company can have a tie-up, merger and acquisitions. So these are the areas are there where the industry requiring the professional services other than the the accounting and auditing part of it. When we people professionals will start this, I'm sure about it. Those are medium and small enterprises will definitely grow to the industries. And now those are chartered accountants sitting in the official area. I personally believe that these are small area where the our chartered accountants, the small villages are there, need to connect to the macro. We need to give them, the solution. We need to give them the benefits of the industry. We need to give them the idea about how they can, source the raw material and how they can sell it, particular their item to the global market. Like the government have the GEMS portal. People need to have the more awareness of the GEMS portal. They can sell this particular portal to the GEMS portal. So these are the lot of areas are there where the chartered accountants can implement play important role. And that's why this committee came out a portal where you can find a government subsidies, state government subsidies, where the chartered accountant can play important role. We started certificate course on the MSME. More than 2,000 professionals started this area as a practice area. And I believe that within a 2 years timeline, more than 5,000 or 10,000 chartered accountants will be there as a qualified people for the growth of the engine of the MSME. And we have the speaker like Sanjeev Chawla ji, who is a director for the Punjab and Punjab government. He will also explain you the what are the benefits are available in the Punjab government, how the MSME can grow it. So that knowledge to be disseminated to your client. That's important part. You should start the practice. You should work on it. So a lot of government of India came out the scheme. So that is the important part. I think now we need to hear it from the Sanjeev Chawla ji. So with this, I think our focus is for the partner nation building by the ICI to strengthen the hands of our chartered accountant to have the better understanding of the benefits available to the MSME. With this, I think thanks for the Sanjeev Chawla ji for accepting our request to be a speaker, so that more and more people can be benefited out of your thought process and your deliveries. So with this, thank you very much, all the participants joining over here. Now we had Manoj Lambaji, who is again experts in the MSME area and always be a forefront for helping to the MSME. Now he's again a moderator, coordinator for this particular event, spending valuable time for coordinating. I think one of the thanks to the Manojji for coordinating, and now hand over to the next proceeding over to the Manoj.
Thank you, Dheerajji. I, CA Manoj Lamba, coordinator for the today's webinar, welcomes you all on this webinar. And special thanks to CA Dr. Raj Chawla ji and CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, who has provided me an opportunity to coordinate this program. This is 8th program in MSME Pathshala series. And for today's session, we have chosen a very learned person for this talk, growth of MSME sector in India. For this, we have chosen Mr. Sanjeev Chawla, Director MSME, for this purpose. I take this opportunity to introduce the sir. Mr. Sanjeev Chawla is working as Director in the MSME Development and Facilitation Office, Karnal, which is a field office of Ministry of MSME. The main mandate of this office is implementation of the schemes and programs of the Ministry of MSME for development and promotion of MSME in the state of Haryana. At present, he has also additional charge of MSME DF4 Ludhiana as well. He possesses 30 years plus experience in MSME development in various domains like cluster development, implementation of UNIDO program, policy formulation for MSME development, techno-managerial consultancy to MSMEs, ISO 9000, lean scheme, market development, public procurement policy, project implementation, procurement, MSME exports, setting up and managing technology centers. He is a person of wide experience in the MSME sector. He implemented World Bank assisted project for setting up 15 new technology centers. His present focus on the capacity building on MSME for various cost-cutting initiatives and competitiveness. With these words, I introduce Mr. Sanjeev Chawla to the House. Please start your proceedings.
Dear Raj Chawla ji, CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, Chairman MSME Committee, CA Manoj Lamba ji, my dear friends from CA fraternity, I welcome everybody for this session. Lamba ji, my voice clear hai?
Yes, sir, your voice is coming properly.
Okay. So thank you very much. So I'm very much thankful to everybody here for giving me this opportunity to interact with you, because I consider CAs to be, the backbone of our MSMEs. Generally, our MSMEs are not financially literate that much, which is required for running an industry, or maybe they do not have sufficient time for managing all these financial issues. So CA comes to the center stage, who helps the industry in various finance issues. So CA are always very, close to my discussions wherever MSME development is concerned. As Dheeraj Khandelwal was telling, CAs have different roles. Like, first, I would say that CA has a great role in project financing. Not only project financing, they can help in financial literacy also. Financial literacy is very much important as far as our small MSMEs are concerned, because each each penny, each rupee is very much important in cost cutting. So financial literacy and physical discipline is equally important. We will later on explain you how these things are important in maintaining the your business in becoming competitiveness, because if you are able to manage the costs within the controlled limits, then you will be able to fight the competition. You will be able to meet the expectations of the customer. So digital literacy, financial literacy, physical discipline, these are very important things. And I always request CA fraternity to take care of these things, because they are the people whom MSMEs believe like anything. If you talk to MSMEs, they will always get back to their CAs to give answers to anybody. So CA are very important. And not only in project financing, they are helpful in equity fundraising. Like we have two platforms very much relevant now. One is SME of National Stock Exchange, which is called Emerge. And similarly, BSE has also a platform for MSME financing, rather equity. So I always suggest our growing MSMEs to go for equity route, because if they raise bank finance or if they take unsecured loan, they have to pay interest from the day one. So equity is a very important route for growth, and CAs can play a very important role. CAs can play a very important role in compliances like EPF, PF, GST, and other compliances which are very much important for CAs. Then they can help MSMEs in getting various government supports, subsidies. Like central government Ministry of MSME has so many schemes which we will discuss now. Apart from that, state governments have their own schemes, and there are some line ministries, like for food processing, Ministry of Food Processing has schemes. For textiles, Ministry of Textile has schemes. So there are so many schemes. And another clear division for working by CAs is the GEM. These days, all government departments, even defense establishment, are mandated to procure through GEM. So, but our MSMEs face a lot of problem. GEM. So this is another area where CS can play a role. So now I think my presentation is visible. I can start. I'm starting my presentation. I'm working in Ministry of MSME. So this is a field office, MSME Development and Facilitation Office at Karnal. We look after the MSME developmental needs of MSMEs in Haryana. Apart from, I have, as Shri Lamba told, that I have additional charge of Punjab right now. So Punjab, we have 23 districts, and Haryana, we have 22 districts. So in all these districts, MSME development activities are carried out by this office. Here, if you say that, entrepreneurship is very much important. For entrepreneurship, you have to have certain traits which we will discuss in our later presentation. If we talk of Ministry of MSME organogram, we have a Union Minister, Shri Narayan Taturane. We have a Minister of State, Shri Bhanu Pratap Singh Verma ji. We have a Secretary, Shri SCL Das, and then there are clear-cut few departments which take care of various sectors, like Khadi and Village Industries Commission. This is a commission. Then COIR Board, it's a statutory board. Then we have NSIC, which is a PSU as well as NBFC. Then the next branch is Development Commissioner MSME. I work in this vertical, and Development Commissioner MSME is the part of government, pure government. Others are commissions or PSUs. Then we have a training institute at Hyderabad. It is called National Institute for MSME. Then another institute is at Wardha, Maharashtra, and there are some other agencies. Apart from this, we have various field offices, which is one of field offices where I work, that is at Karnal, Haryana. And there are some tool rooms, which are also called technology centers. So this is the broad setup of the department. This map shows the location of various offices all across the country. You would note that in each state, generally there is one office, but few larger states like UP, Maharashtra have more offices. Our role is to take care of developmental needs of MSMEs. This map shows the locations of the technology centers called tool rooms. Now I'll take some time to talk about Ministry of MSME. As Shri Raj Chawla ji was mentioning that MSME registration has increased very fast. As on today, 12th April 2024, we have 42 million plus registrations, 4 crore 22 lakh 50,000. This is the figure of today morning. And out of this, 4 crore 15 lakh 20,000 are micro. Micro are prominently big part, more than 95%. So this is the reason that in our country we have micro as a category of industry. If we go to world over, we will find only two categories: small and medium. They're called SME. Even if you talk of USA, they have SBA, Small Business Administration, or other countries they have SME divisions. But in India, we have micro also, because for micro, we need special dispensation. The total employment as on date is 18 crore 57 lakh. This is a very huge number. We are the second largest employer after agriculture. An interesting information which you should note that industries as per Schedule 7 of the Constitution is a state subject. Like international policy making or currency are central government in the central government list, but industries in the state list. However, our Ministry of MSME, which is at central level, it creates various programs, schemes for promotion of MSME. So Ministry of MSME has a role of promotion of MSME, policy formulation, and interministerial interaction. State governments have their own policies. Like, you are in different states. So Haryana has different set of policies. Punjab has different set of policies. These days, Jammu and Kashmir has lately come up with very attractive policies. If we go to Madhya Pradesh, they have huge capital investment subsidy up to 40%. If we go to Gujarat, they have a very fine single window system. Maharashtra has a very good single window system. So each state government has its own policy and programs depending upon the needs. Some state governments have their own MSME departments also. Like Haryana has a special department called DG MSME, Director General MSME. It's a separate department. So just to take care of MSME needs. Our department, which is also known as MSME Development Organization, it was set up in 1954. So it's quite an old setup, which was set up as a recommendation of a foundation to bridge the information gap. Because after independence, there were entrepreneurs who wanted to do something. There was a clear-cut demand of goods and products in the country, but our entrepreneurs did not know much about how to make, and machines were not available, technology was not available. So that is the reason our department was created. So our job was to tell the entrepreneur what to make, how to make, where from they can source the machinery. These days, these needs have changed. Our entrepreneurs are smart enough, but after independence, because the English people who ruled us, they didn't pay any attention towards this thing. So our local entrepreneurs were not able to get the technology. So that was the reason our department was set up. MSMED Act was notified in 2006. Later on, we will we will come to know about Delayed Payment Act or MSME definition or other powers which have been enshrined in MSMED Act 2006. So 2006, we came across this act, and now this act is in vogue. And in 2006, enterprise concept was introduced. Earlier, we were knowing manufacturing sector, service sector. But if we join manufacturing sector and service sector, combined, they can be called enterprise. So enterprise concept was for the first time introduced in our act in 2006. There were there were two ministries earlier, Ministry of Small Scale Industries and Ministry of Agro and Rural Industries. These two were merged, and the name was given Ministry of MSME in 2007. Our budget estimate for the previous year, the last year which has gone, was 22,137 crore. This shows the importance of the sector, and we are implementing more than 20 schemes. A new scheme was introduced in the last financial year, which is called PM Vishkarma scheme, for the period of 5 years at a cost of 13,000 crore rupees. Under this scheme, the artisans like carpenter, masons, washermen, or malakar, or barbers. So these kind of trades are being supported. Their skills are being improved. They are being given free toolkits. They are being given a free training. So this scheme caters to artisans only. Mandate of the ministry is, as I told you earlier, is to design policies, promote various programs, projects, and schemes, monitor their implementation to assist MSME. So this is the mandate, and actually at present our ministry is handling 3 acts. One is MSMED Act 2006, KVIC Act, and Core Industry Act. This slide shows importance of MSMEs. 29.15% of MSME gross value added in GDP. So our MSMEs have a considerable role in GDP. 45% share it has in exports. Like all the goods which are being exported, 45% are from MSME sector. Then out of total manufacturing, 41% manufacturing happens in MSME. The data on our portal shows 15.5 crore employment as on 16/12/2023, and we have more than 6.3 crore enterprises. On Udyam registration portal, we have total 4 crore 40 lakhs. So this is the number on our Udyam registration, and MSME sector manufactures more than 8,000 products and services. Apart from MSME's own manufacturing, MSME has a great contribution in the large sector as well, because they are the OEM suppliers. If we talk of Maruti would have around 500 tier 1 suppliers, and then thousands of suppliers in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So they are all feeding into Maruti. So production of Maruti has a reflection of MSMEs also. Similarly, if we talk of HAL or BEL or BHEL or other large companies in government or as well as in private sector, they have a value chain which feeds into their manufacturing. So MSME are also equally important for large sector as well. If we try to understand the ecosystem of MSME, then we need to understand these few things. which are important for MSME ecosystem. First of all is motivation for entrepreneurship. For this, the motivation comes from your cultural ethos, from your environment, from your friends, from your mentors, from the government departments. If we talk of Gujarat would have a lot of, higher degree of entrepreneurship as compared to our northeastern part or maybe eastern part. So we need to motivate entrepreneurship through technology, through training, through incentives or whatever. Then another important thing is dissemination of knowledge. This is a knowledge economy as on date. As you would know that in a fighter jet, the cost of software is more than the hardware cost. So similarly in cars also, in every sphere, if any profession, knowledge has gained the center stage. So dissemination, because there is a lot of knowledge asymmetry in MSMEs. One MSME knows about one rule, one policy, other MSME would not know. So CS has a central role to tell the MSMEs what is the latest status. Access to finance is a very big issue. Our finance has so many problems, which we will discuss later on. Access to technology, this is a very important thing, and we need to have appropriate technology, because MSMEs, because their scale of production is very less, they cannot afford very costly technology, and without technology they cannot grow. So they should have appropriate technology which is suitable for their manufacturing. Then they need to have some common infrastructure. They cannot do everything in house. Testing, these days government of India has introduced quality control orders, and for quality control orders compliance they need to have BIS testing. BIS testing is not available everywhere, so we need to have common facility centers so that they can go for testing. Design support is also required. MSMEs may not have their in-house design facility. Then facilities facilitating access to market, like domestic, international trade fairs, we should promote them to access to the international markets. And then policy, governance, and ease of doing business. Ease of doing business is very easily said than than it is practiced. We introduce various new orders, new programs, like Haryana is 14 districts are covered under NCR, and we have so many stipulations by Center for Air Quality Management. So these things create a lot of ripples in MSME sector, because the MSMEs are managed by a single person. If one person is doing purchase, he's doing quality, he's doing marketing, he's doing everything. So ease of doing business is very much important for MSMEs particularly. Common problems of MSMEs, because we CA are concerned with MSMEs, so we must know what are the general problems which lead to closure of MSMEs sometimes. So first issue is funds. The cost of funds is very important. We cannot get loan at 16%, 18%. Should be minimum. If I have bank finance, it is good, and if I'm going for equity participation, that's better. And if I go to IPO kind of, I have gone for equity raising through my own firm, that is the best. So we need to have a great check on the funds. What are the cost of funds? Then adequacy of funds is very much important. Generally, banks, when finance, they do not finance enough. Sometimes the machinery cost escalate, or the project cost goes beyond the earlier approvals. So adequacy of finance is also very important. Then timeliness, we should get the finance at the right time. And the biggest problem is working capital. Generally, MSMEs are not able to handle working capital. They siphon off the money to fix assets. They sometimes buy property or spend money in marriages or divert the funds, so then the working capital becomes less and they have to buy at higher rates and they are not able to make their committed payments. So funds is a very big area where CAs can play a lot of role. Then lack of knowledge about markets, what are the new products, what are the future trends, what are the policies for marketing. So these aspects are also a big problem for MSMEs. Compliances take a lot of time and effort. Company Act, GST, safety, labor laws, EPF, pollution, fire, or line department. Line department, suppose there's a pharma company, it may have different kind of compliances, and if it's a food company, it will have different kind of compliances. So these compliances create a lot of problem for the industry. It consumes a lot of time. Then MSMEs have untrained manpower. This is a big problem. They are scared to give training because they are afraid that my worker will go to the competitor. This is a very wrong concept. They should train the people, and this training helps. Then the lack of infrastructure, cost of plots these days is very high. If you talk of Haryana, sometimes the cost is around 1 lakh rupees per square yard. The cost of infrastructure is now increasing very fast. Sometimes they're using obsolete technology. They need to buy appropriate machines. Then they have dependence on local markets, the single buyer. This is again a problem. They need to have a strategy of which markets they should penetrate into, and they should never depend on a single buyer source. That quality is a general problem. There is a perception in MSMEs that quality production is costly. Actually, the reverse is true. Quality manufacturing is always cheaper because in quality doesn't mean that I'm spending too much money to maintain quality. Quality means appropriate quality, which is required by the customer. I should not go for repairs. I should not go for rework. And this if my repairs are less, reworks are less, then productivity will be more. Suppose I'm a CA and I'm my balance sheet is not being made properly, and then I have to redo once, 2 times, 3 times. So this will reduce the productivity. Similar is the manufacturing. Even in manufacturing, if my all the inputs are proper, or all the inputs are checked as per quality assurance plan, so my production will always be good. Regarding finance, I would mention here that there is an expert committee by RBI which has mentioned that credit gap of 25 trillion rupees. And for this, the MSMEs generally go for unsecured loans, or they go to NBFC for loans. And the problem is this, that they do not show much profit. If I talk of Panipat, the general practice is to show 1% as profit. If your turnover is 70 crore, show 70 lakh as a profit. So this is something very I do not understand. The balance sheet should be strong. It will help in future. Even if you have to pay some taxes, if we go for IPO and if I go for expansion, I need to have strong balance sheet. And if my balance sheet is strong, I will get loans at reasonable prices. So this credit gap, and now you would be knowing that there are some fintech companies which are trying to fill this gap. You would have heard the concept of ONDC, Open Network Digital Systems. Through ONDC also you can reduce the cost of lending. So these are the new. We'll later also discuss that what are the other sources to get money, like TREDS. We can discount our bills and get the money instantly. So TREDS also we will discuss. So for funds, I think CAs should play a dominant role how to manage funds. And you would be heard of that banks have a system of SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, where when I'm not able to make my payments, 1 month I am not able to pay my EMI or my interest part, or the term loan installment, that gives an indication that my finances are going wrong, in the wrong direction. So that is the point where the MSME should be given proper guidance so that they do not turn into NPA. Strategy for development of MSME, the problems which we discussed beforehand, if these problems are solved, so then we can have this is strategy at government level. We can say we should have effective single window for all the problems of MSME, all incentives, all approvals. Rather, I would say for all compliances, there should be a single window so that the entrepreneur does not need to run here and there. And one central data system should be there from which the data can be fetched and populated to various applications. There should not be any need to refill the data, same data again and again. Next, I'm talking of easy exit plan for MSMEs. Like if I have registered in Provident Fund or EPF or other things, my exit should be again single window type. And you would be knowing that Government of India is working greatly on reforms of labor laws, and now four direct codes, labor codes have been prepared, which I think would be implemented in near future. And these labor laws simplification will help MSMEs for easy exit or easy running of the units. Then we need to incentivize value added and sunrise industry. If we talk of value added and sunrise industry, of course, IT is there, then solar is there, then we can other industries, fintech is there, service sector is there. So these industries should be supported. Tourism is also one of them. Then design support is a critical issue because MSME generally do not have design capability with them. And then consortia support is very important technique wherein they can make purchases as by coming together. I tell you the example of Faridabad. If they want to buy, suppose at the start of summer season, they want to buy air conditioners. What they will do, they will write to everybody, all the members, and the members will then collate their requirements and they will do the bulk purchase. Similarly, raw materials can also be this. There is a Okla garment cluster at Delhi, which has gone for bulk procurement of raw materials. So it has saved them at least 5% in purchase. So this consortia approach is very much important because for MSME, the problem is that like Tata Steel will not give them less than 30 tons of consignment, or maybe they will not give a special size. Tata Steel will not give a special size for MSME requirement. If they come together, they can do the bulk procurement. Information asymmetry, which we have discussed earlier. This is a big problem. MSMEs generally do not know about the latest things. They will say that, oh, I know everything and I am the only manufacturer. But we generally tell them that your brother is also manufacturing the same thing. Law and order is very much important for government. If we say that why people do not go to Northeast or maybe Bihar, so the underlying reasons may be law and order. So these are the things which help to create an ecosystem for development of MSMEs. And of course, entrepreneurship promotion is a very important thing. Entrepreneurship is a calculated risk, is a little discomfort in the starting. So we need to tell the people that entrepreneurship has longer and sweeter results than doing jobs. This is a slide which tells about my office. I have already discussed that we are into development and promotion of MSMEs and implementing various schemes of ministry, our headquarters. There is a little more about MSME ecosystem. Like now 14 sectors have got PLIs. You would have heard production linked incentive schemes which have come up in various industries in which we had less competitiveness. Like it has come in mobile phones, it has come in auto sector, specialized auto sector, it has come in technical textiles, it has come in drone and semiconductors, and then this solar cells. So one thing is needs to be understood that why this production linked incentive scheme has been introduced by Government of India. The reason is that in India we consider that our manufacturing is costlier than other countries. Like we have more logistic costs, our interest cost is more, our infrastructure cost is more, our utilities cost like electricity is little more costlier. So to offset all these things, this production linked incentive scheme has been introduced in 14 sectors, and CAs can also help industry, but this is not for MSME sector generally. This is for the little upper strata of industry, in which 4 to 50% this incentive has been given for additional incremental production. This time I have suggested that MSMEs should also be given this production linked incentive scheme. If it comes, it will be helpful for the industry. For toy sector, it is coming. Toy sector is likely to get PLI very soon. Now we come to this MSME definition. This is very important to discuss. इसमें लांबा जी, am I clear or I need to ask somebody किसी से कुछ पूछना है, कोई बात करनी है?
Sir, we will take all question at the end.
Okay. अच्छा ठीक. So this is a definition which is as per MSMED Act 2006, but it has been refined. Earlier, our classification or definition was only on the basis of plant and machinery. Now it is on annual turnover also. So micro definition is 1 crore, 5 crore. This turnover is 5 times of the investment. Small enterprises 10 crore, 50 crore, and medium enterprises 50 crore in plant and machinery and 250 crore in turnover. But the notes given here are very important. This is a composite criteria. If I cross one limit, I switch over to the next category. Number one. Number two, export turnover will be deducted from total turnover. So the exporter who may be having 600 crore or 700 crore turnover may not be out of medium enterprises. Then the cost of machinery will be the depreciated cost. In earlier definition, the cost was taken as the book value, original book value. Now the cost is taken as the depreciated cost, which we report in our income tax return schedules. It also has some exclusions. Some supporting equipment is not included. All units with GSTIN listed against the same PAN number shall be collectively treated as one enterprise. This means our registration revolves around our PAN number. So against one PAN number, there will be only one Udyam registration. And if we are already having more units and the PAN number is one, it will be clubbed. Other important things which are need to discuss with you. Retail and wholesale trade, as CA Raj Chawla ji was telling, it has been included for registration in Udyam. You know, the data which has gone to 4 crore 40 lakh very fast. One of the reason is that retail trade registration has also been included in this Udyam registration. Now 3 codes 45, 46, 47 are allowed to be registered under Udyam registration portal, but they are given only priority sector lending benefit, means only one benefit is given by banks, which may be priority sector lending. It may have some 25 paisa less rate of interest, or maybe some preference in the loans. MSME registration is fully online and free of cost. Some people are taking money for this, so this is not as ministry wanted. And this a web link is given, Udyam registration.gov.in. The site should have .gov.in in the last. There are so many free fake sites which we generally take action sometimes and try to stop them. There is no need to upload any documents, paper or certificate or proof. The data generally which is required, I will mention that. And the investment of plant and machinery, it picks from income tax portal, and then turnover is picked by from GSTN. But one interesting thing, that some industries do not have GSTN, like hospital sector are exempt, and there are more than 70 services which are not covered under GST. So that in that case you can input your turnover yourself, and there is it will not be picked from GSTN, and this is allowed. Without GSTN also you can go for Udyam registration. Moreover, the firms which have less than 40 lakh are also allowed to be registered. Then unit updation of information is automatic. Multiple plants and units can be registered under one Udyam, and multiple activities can also be registered under the same Udyam. We need Udyam, for Udyam we need Aadhaar number of the proprietor, or in firm or karta in case of HUF, or in case of company or cooperative society or a society, we need GSTN plus PAN plus Aadhaar number. This I have already discussed. Penalty under section 27 of the Act for intentionally misrepresentation or suppressing the facts. This is another important thing. In case of upward change, consequent reclassification, and enterprise will maintain its prevailing status till expiry of 1 year from the close of the year of registration. Benefit of change status only with effect from 1st April of the financial year. So these are some important things we generally your client may like to discuss. Now I come to various schemes which are being implemented by our ministry. I will share a detailed presentation on these schemes. This is a online portal for availing benefits of MSME schemes. On this portal, the entrepreneurs can apply. This is my MSME portal. And this is a slide which shows that MSMEs have very less resources. We should not waste our resources. Like, this gentleman is trying to cross this wall, whereas a lot of ladders are just below his feet. So he should have use two ladders to cross this wall. Now we will discuss these schemes. This is the first scheme I am going to discuss is Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. This scheme provides loan up to 50 lakh rupees for manufacturing sector and 20 lakh rupees for service sector. So this scheme is being implemented by three agencies. One is KVIC, another is KVIB, is Khadi Village Industry Commission, Khadi Village Industrial Board. The KVIB belongs to state government and KVIC belongs to central government. Then district industry centers at the state level. So these three agencies are implementing the scheme, and depending upon the industry and area, these applications are routed directly to these agencies. One has to apply on this link www.kviconline.gov.in. If you apply on these lines, the application will reach these agencies according to the place of application and product. Then these loans are generally given by banks. However, the applications are routed through these agencies. This means that this is a two-level approval. First level will be at district industry centers or KVIC level, and then the second approval will be at the bank level. Under this scheme, targets are given. The targets are not very huge. For whole Haryana, I think 3,000 would be the limit. So the numbers are not very high. And under this scheme, Ministry of MSME spends more than 6,000 crore rupees per year in margin money, because apart from training under this scheme, some subsidy is also given. That is called margin money. And margin money for general category, it is 15% and 25%. And for special category, it is 25% and 35%. Suppose there is a lady or SCST lady in a rural area, and she takes a loan of 50 lakh, she will get a subsidy of 17 lakh 50,000. So that's very huge. Some amount, some contribution equity is also to be provided by the beneficiary, which is 10% of the project cost for general category and 5% for special category. Special category means SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women, transgender, etc. So this loan is provided and the margin money is kept in the FDR. So 3 years the unit should be run and then the FDR is settled. There is a provision for second loan also for expansion, etc. In that case, the cost of project may be 1 crore and for service sector it may be 25 lakh. And then subsidy for both manufacturing and service sector will be 15% and 20%. So second category, second time loan is also possible under this scheme. This scheme, I will like to discuss this credit guarantee fund trust scheme for MSCs. Number one, this is for micro and small enterprises. This is not for medium. You will wonder that why it's not for medium. The reason is that our MSMED Act has special provisions for micro and small enterprises and not for medium. So this scheme is only for micro and small enterprises, and the limit is now 5 crore, as CA Raj Chawla ji sir was telling. And the maximum guarantee is 85%, and the coverage is 75% for loan up to 5 crore. And if it is not manufacturing or service, it's a retail activity, then the coverage is 50%. Guarantee charges vary from 0.37% onwards. So there is a lot of confusion about the guarantee charges. Earlier it was much more. Now it has been reduced from the previous year. And interestingly, this guarantee charges were earlier a flat rate on total approved loan, but this is now on the reducing balance, outstanding loan only. So a lot of improvements have been done. Now mixed guarantee is also allowed under this scheme. And for this, the entrepreneur has to reach out to the bank and tell the bank manager that I want to avail this facility and take the loan. If you want more details, we can have a special discussion on this credit guarantee fund scheme, CGTMSA. Next scheme which I would like to discuss here is the intellectual property rights. Like you want to protect design, or you want to protect technology. Few days back, I was discussing at Panipat, the one company has developed special machines for technical textile. Technical textile is a special kind of textile which is used in space, or which is used in firefighting, or which is used for defense, various applications, or various chemical treatment plants. So he has designed special machines, and a lot of investment has gone into designing of the machine. And now he is afraid that somebody may copy it. So if he goes for technology patent, he may be able to protect his hard work. So our government promotes this concept, and we also give consultancy support through our patent offices, and then we give some subsidy also to protect that intellectual property. For domestic patent, we provide help up to 1 lakh rupees. This is after you get the patent. For foreign patent, 5 lakh rupees. A lot of units are taking this benefit. For geographical indication, we provide 2 lakh rupees. Geographical indication means like basmati rice, or Bikaneri bhujia, or maybe Bengali rasgulla. And for trademark, we are giving 10,000 rupees. For trademark, Government of India fees, registry fees is 4,500, and some money is taken by the professional who gives help in getting the trademark. So, like pharma companies have hundreds of trademarks, like some cosmetic companies are having hundreds of trademarks. They can take benefit of this scheme. Then another scheme is for design support. Like, if you say that Indian machines are not designed, or products are not designed aesthetically. So for ergonomics and for aesthetic design, we provide support to micro and small enterprises. And student projects are also supported with a sufficient funding of the projects up to 40 lakh rupees. There is another scheme which is called incubation scheme. This is for colleges and universities, wherein they are declared host institute, means HI, host institute, so that they can host various innovations. So under the innovations, we conduct various hackathons, and out of hackathon, if the ideas are selected, each idea is given rupees 15 lakh rupees for developing and nurturing the idea so that it can be converted into commercial product. And the host institute is also given a grant of 1 crore rupees for procurement of machinery and plant to strengthen the innovation work. This is another scheme which I think you should tell your client that under the public procurement policy, every central ministry or department or PSU has procurement goal of minimum 25% of the total annual purchases of products or services by MSCs. Like, her company, each company or central government ministry or department or PSU should buy, rather must buy 25% of their annual purchases of products or services like maintenance, housekeeping, or the products from MSCs, from micro and small enterprises. Out of this 25% quota, 3% sub-target is earmarked for procurement from MSCs owned by women. Like if you have women entrepreneur, so she has a quota of 3%. And I tell you, this quota is always untapped or unused. We are facing a lot of difficulty in meeting this particular target. And a sub-target of 4% is earmarked for procurement from SC/ST entrepreneurs. Apart from this procurement, the participating MSCs in tender quoting price within L1 plus 15% may also be allowed to supply a portion of the requirement by bringing down their price to L1. Suppose a large company, a large unit has given a quotation of 100 rupees, and by chance our micro or small enterprise has given a quotation of 115 rupees, then this MSC will be called for negotiation or discussions that if you are ready to give your supplies at L1 price, means at 100 rupees, then 25% of the supply order can be given to the micro small enterprises. And in case of Airport Authority of India, I have seen that this has happened, that one MSC was in L1 plus 15% range and he was to be given 25% of the order, but maintenance order or housekeeping order of airport cannot be broken into 25% or 75%. So he was given the complete order for the complete airport at L1 price. So this is also very helpful clause. For getting more details about this, our CA brothers can go to sambandh.msme.gov.in. If you go to sambandh.msme.gov.in, you will find a list of CPSUs, PSUs. A lot of companies are there, BHEL or other BL or HMT and others. So there are important procured items are mentioned, their tenders are mentioned, and there you can find how to register with these CPSUs, and then you can get orders. So this is very helpful website, sambandh.msme.gov. Next, we'll talk about MSME sustainable certification. This scheme is very close to the heart of our Honorable Prime Minister. He has inaugurated this scheme. Zero defect means the defects are very less or close to zero, and zero effect means the effect on manufacturing on the environment means pollution, environment degradation. These are minimum. So a product which is manufactured with less defects and which is made with green energy are maybe called zero effect, zero defect product. And government supports for this purpose any MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises unit going for this certification will get a joining reward of 10,000 rupees. And similarly, if they go for consultancy for improvement, they also get a lot of support. There are three kinds of JED certifications. One is bronze, one is silver, one is gold. Getting bronze is very easy. There are 5-6 parameters. There are 6 parameters on which you need to assess your unit, and then there is a silver certification on which 14 parameters are there. For gold, you have to judge your unit on 20 parameters. Government of Haryana and Government of Punjab, 2 states, I know that they have tied up some schemes and some benefits with JED certification. If you have silver, if you have gold, you will get this facility. If you have gold, silver, you will get this facility. So this kind of linking has been done with JED certification. QCI, Quality Council of India, is the implementing agency for JED certification. Any MSME which is having Udyam registration can apply for JED certification. These are the incentives for JED certified schemes, like handhold. If you are interested and you have applied and you are not coming up to a level and you need some hand holding support, you need some consultancy, you need some consultant who will come to your unit, who will guide you how to improve, how to conserve energy, how to reduce defects, how to increase quality. So that consultant, even if at a cost of rupees 2 lakh, will be provided, and Government of India will give sufficient subsidy in this. Like the consultant will come, if his fees is 2 lakh rupees, Government of India will give 80%, means 1,60,000 rupees for micro units. So then if it is found that you need to improve the technology for zero effect, means you are creating pollution and you need some effluent treatment plant, or you need some steam recovery system, Government of India can provide support up to 3 lakh rupees for getting that kind of equipment. Similarly, financial support of 50,000 is available for testing, product, and system certification. So these are the incentives under JED. And once you get JED, you can put a stamp on your products. You can put a stamp on your letterhead that your company is JED certified, and you can use the logo of JED. Here, I will like to discuss a special scheme which is for SC/ST components also only. This is one benefit is very important in this. If any entrepreneur is having is owned by SC/ST micro and small enterprises, he can get 25% of the subsidy for procurement of plant and machinery. This is a very important thing, that if he buys a plant and machinery of 1 crore rupees, 25 lakh subsidy straightway he can get for procurement of plant and machinery. This is the workflow for this getting the subsidy. Other than this investment subsidy, this is plant and machinery subsidy, there are some other benefits which are provided to SC/ST friends. Bank loan processing reimbursement fees, if bank is charging any reimbursement fees, so 80% of this up to 1 lakh rupees can be provided. Bank guarantee charges, suppose I had discussed that, see, for CGT MSc, bank charges some guarantee fees. So that grantee fees can also be reimbursed if the entrepreneur is SC/ST. Then testing fees reimbursement scheme. If entrepreneur SC/ST entrepreneur is going for testing of his products for getting some certification, and he gets a test from NABL or BIS lab, then he can get up to 1 lakh rupees. And then Export Promotion Council membership. This we will discuss that for any exporting unit, you must have RCMC. RCMC means this is registration cum membership certification from Export Promotion Councils. So that fees is also Export Promotion Council membership fees is also reimbursed for our SC/ST entrepreneurs. Now we will come to MSME Samadhan. MSME delayed payments. I think all CAs are now very well aware of about IT this act, section 43BH, which has created ripples very recently. So the genesis of this amendment has come from our MSMED Act only. Section 15 of the MSMED Act. So we can spend some time on this. MSMED Act 2006 contains provisions of delayed payment to MSEs. Section 15 to Section 24, these sections cover this delayed payment issue. This is a very serious issue for micro and small enterprises, and sometimes they have to, close their units because of working capital problems. The implementation is done by state governments. One officer from state government, director of industries or DG MSME, he is the chairman of the council. So state governments to establish MSE facilitation councils. Each council should be set up by them for settlement of disputes on getting references of delayed payment. There is a provision in Section 2021 for making reference to facilitation council. So what is the nature of assistance? What MSEs will get? Again, I'm discussing this is for MSEs, not for medium, because our act has special dispensation for MSEs, not for MSME. Medium is not there. So MSEFC of the state, after examining the case filed by MSE unit, will issue directions to the buyer unit for payment of due amount with interest as per provisions. So Facilitation Council can give directions to the buyers. In Haryana, the Facilitation Council is at Panchkula under chairmanship of DG MSME. District level facilitation councils are being set up to take up the cases up to 20 lakh rupees. They have some charges with application. One-time fees is there, 3,500 rupees from petitioner and 2,500 rupees from respondent, plus some arbitration charges if the matter goes for arbitration. Here, important sections are displayed. Section 15, which gives mandate that any supplier, means any micro and small enterprise supplier who has sold the goods to the buyer, and if the payment exceeds 45 days from the date of acceptance or deemed acceptance, then he can seek a remedy under this act. So this is important word here, date of acceptance, deemed acceptance. This is also to be that if the customer has not accepted the goods, the days 45 days will start from the acceptance date, and in the 15 days, if you have not given any acceptance or any complaint, this is called deemed acceptance. Wherein any buyer fails to make payment to the supplier as required under Section 15, the buyer shall be liable to pay compound interest with monthly rests to supplier at 3 times the bank rate. These days, bank rate is around 6.65 or maybe little up and down. 6.65 into 3 means around 20% will be the interest rate, which will be calculated compounding with monthly rests. So it is a huge cost for the buyer. So a lot of units are now reaching out to facilitation councils for remedy. Very important thing is that MSEFC shall have jurisdiction in a dispute between the supplier located within its jurisdiction. If suppose a unit belongs to Panipat and the buyer is in suppose Kerala, then the jurisdiction will be Haryana, Panchkula. It will not be Kerala. So this supplier has the benefit that jurisdiction will be the same as the jurisdiction of the supplier, means micro and small enterprises. If the appellant means if the buyer after the award wants to file an appeal, then he has to deposit 75% of the award amount in the court. So this is the workflow of facilitation council. Like MSC units files an application on MSME Sambandh portal. The portal sends system-generated online intimation to both the seller and the buyer. Sometimes a lot of cases are settled only at this point when the buyer gets a notice kind of thing. So he tries to settle the issue. Then the mutual settlement can take place. And after 15 days of filing of the claim on portal, you have to submit printed copy of claim with form 1, 2, and 3, and then the fees. This is where a lot of problems are occurring. Generally, micro and small enterprises forget to submit the hard copies. This is a problem area. But maybe we'll get a solution for this. The portal is being is planned to be improved to include this aspect as automatic process. After examining, the facilitation council can either convert the application into case or maybe reject it. If the application has been converted into case, then MSC facilitation conducts conciliation, means it calls both the parties and asks them to resolve the issue. And if these are not resolved, then the case is referred to the arbitration. In Haryana, the arbitration has some fees, and the arbitrators are generally the retired judges or the other senior people. So they will then do the arbitration and then give the award. Then this arbitration is given back to the facilitation council, and then council gives the award to the seller, which is MSEs. And if the buyer does not pay the money, then this money can be recovered, executed by the collector of the district concerned where the property of the buyer is located, and the amount shall be paid to the MSC. This is the address where MSCs can apply. Another scheme which I like to discuss is Champions Web Portal. This is Champions, if you give full name, it's creation and harmonious application of modern processing for increasing the output and national strength. This Champions was introduced during COVID time because physically it was difficult for MSMEs to reach out to our offices. So this was the platform provided to them to lodge their complaints, to give suggestions, to to tell us their grievances. So Honorable PM inaugurated this on 1st June 2020. This was peak of the COVID first layer. Here, all kind of grievances can be uploaded. We have nodal officers from various banks and various departments. Everybody tries to solve the problem of MSMEs. Then another scheme which CAs must be knowing, or they should know, that during COVID Atmanirbhar package, 50,000 crore self-reliant India fund was created. The government of India had contributed rupees 10,000 crore to various fund of funds, to create fund of funds. And then a company was set up, this NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited, which is the mother company, and it gives the equity to various daughter companies. At present, around 50 daughter companies are there, maybe more or less, around 50 companies are there. Why this Self-Reliant India Fund was created? This is parallel to something called private equity venture capital. In private equity venture capital, the expectations are very high. They are expecting a return of 25%, 30%, maybe more. But this is a government of India initiative, and we wanted to provide equity at reasonable terms of conditions and expectations. So the companies who need to scale up may reach out to these daughter funds for getting equity for growth. Next scheme I like to discuss is trade receivables discounting system, TRADS. TRADS is an electronic platform. This is sort of bill discounting or factoring kind of initiative, where the micro, small, and medium enterprises can discount their receivables. Suppose I have supplied 100 rupees item to BHEL, one big company, but the company has a policy of making payment in 3 months or 2 months. But as a micro and small enterprises, MSME, I want money in 2 days or immediately. What I'll do, I'll go to the TRADS platform, and TRADS, I will upload my documents, and the firm is, my company is already there, my buyer is already there, and then a third person will come, bank will come, who will provide the receivable amount to the micro MSME at some discount, and the money will be paid to MSME, and the bank will get the money whenever the large company is making the payment. So this way, the recourse is on a large company only. There is no recourse to MSME. Like MSME has got the money, and suppose the large company does not pay, so there is no effect, there is no repercussion on MSME. MSME has taken the money. This solves some problems. Like, I have limited collateral, I cannot go to bank, and bank does not give me overdraft or more working capital, and I need money immediately. So TRADS is a good solution. The only thing is that both the buyer, the large company, or an MSME, both should be registered on the platform. So TRADS, the features of TRADS are unified platform for sellers, buyers, and financiers. Sellers are my MSMEs, buyers are large companies or government of India, and financiers are banks. It eliminates papers, easy access to funds, transact online, competitive discount rates, seamless data flow, and standardized practice. So there are 3 companies right now which are doing the TRADS work. One is RXIL.in, m1exchange.com and invoicemart.com. So both these three companies have their websites. Their websites are very good, very informative. You can go to the websites, get the information, and ask your client to use this platform. If you find that the large companies to which you are selling your product are not registered on Trades platform, please reach out to them and request them to get registered on Trades platform. From Government of India, there is a stipulation that all CPSUs and all private sector companies which are having turnover more than 500 crore should be registered on Trades platform. So now the efforts are being done to reduce this threshold. And when more and more companies are on Trades, then our MSMEs will be able to get the their receivables very fast at reasonable price without requesting bank, without exhausting their collaterals. They can they can keep reserve their collaterals. This is again a pictorial description of how the factoring is done, because there are two processes. One is factoring and one is reverse factoring. In factoring, you are seller as a micro MSME, you are uploading your documents. But in case of reverse factoring, the uploading is done by the buyer. This is the only difference. The rest process is almost same. So startup, you have already stand up is a Ministry of Finance scheme. This is very common scheme, not. Okay, this is the scheme which I'd like to discuss with you. This is called Procurement and Marketing Support Scheme of Ministry of MSME. Here, micro and small enterprises are given support for participating in domestic trade fairs. Lot of trade fairs are taking place in our country, and these trade fairs are important source of information, not only for selling the product, but also they provide the information about your competitors, about the market, about what kind of new trends are going on, what my competitor is doing, what kind of requirement customer is posing, how the sale promotion can be done. So these our progressive MSMEs must participate in various trade fairs. They should exhibit. So to motivate micro and small enterprises, we are running this scheme, and there are approved fairs which are given on our website, and micro small enterprises can submit their applications on our website through for participation in these approved fairs, and they get support up to 80,000 rupees in smaller cities, and A class and metro cities they get support of 1,50,000 rupees. This is a very good scheme, and this includes space rent and also some contingency expenses. Contingency expenses means travel of the entrepreneur, or maybe they are distributing some pamphlets, or they are distributing some business promotion material. So these can be covered under the contingency. Assistance for barcode all would know that if you buy a water bottle, bottle water, or maybe any consumable product, you will find thick and thin vertical lines which are called barcode. We promote micro units to go for barcode lines. The general expenses are 65,000 rupees or so for 3 years for getting about 1,000 SKUs, means 1,000 products. So we provide a subsidy of 50,650 rupees maximum for attaining barcode. So this is also very popular for micro enterprises. This is a subordinate debt for stress MSMEs. This is not getting much traction these days. I think these are the schemes which I broadly wanted to cover. There are few more schemes like cluster development program of MSME. I'll cover one or two slides of MSE if people are interested to listen.
Chawla, have you completed? Okay.
नहीं, मनोज जी कुछ और मतलब कि और स्कीम कवर करूं या
कर लो,
कुछ
अभी 8-10 मिनट हो रहे हैं हमारे पास.
Okay. So this is a scheme called Cluster Development Program, in which we can set up large factory or a big facility for common use by micro and small enterprises. And the cost of this common facility can be up to rupees 30 crore, 30 crore. So the objective is to enhance the sustainability, competitiveness, and growth of micro and small enterprises cluster. Cluster कहते किसको हैं? Cluster is a group of enterprises which are located in identifiable area. It may not be contiguous, means not that one unit touching each other, but in a vicinity. So, and if they have similarity of in methods of production, means they are manufacturing almost one item of similar nature, or they have same testing requirement or same skill requirement, they have something common in themselves. So then we call it a cluster. In cluster, we can have 50 units or 100 units. It depends upon the size of the cluster. So this common facility center can be set up, and if the maximum cost can be up to rupees 30 crore, and Government of India gives a support of 60% in this, and state government also contributes 20%. So this is a scheme where contribution is made both by state and central government, and SPV, which is a Section 8 company set up specifically for this purpose, also chips in 20% of the project cost. But if we have most of the units of small size, then the grant can be increased. In case of projects up to 30 crore, we can have 70% from Government of India and 15% from state and 15% from SPV. We need to have a group of minimum 20 micro small enterprises which form a special purpose vehicle and come together to set up this common facility which can be used by the whole of the cluster. So this is a very good scheme which has got good traction in Maharashtra. Even Haryana, we have 9 CFCs working on this model. So there are more details on this. We need to make a DPR, detailed project report we need to make for this. Then this DPR is appraised, and then it is submitted online for examination by state government as well as our office. And then the final approval is obtained from our headquarters, which is at Delhi. So this is a very good scheme. Suppose a group of industry has they cannot go for high voltage testing or some such machine like for food sector these days. Testing requirements have grown too much. So these testing facilities cannot be set up by one unit. In that case, we can come together and set up this kind of facility. One scheme which I will like to discuss with you is lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing, I'll tell you verbally. Lean, by lean, what do we understand? We understand that lean is a person who is not very obese, or who is swift, and who can take action very quickly. So that is lean. Basically, lean concept started in Toyota production system, so that we can manufacture good quality product. For customer, for becoming remaining competitive, three things are very important: cost, delivery, and quality. The customer wants cost reasonable, quality best, and delivery in time. So this is the mantra for any successful unit, that we optimize QCD, quality, cost, and delivery. This is applicable for all spheres. For CA profession also, this would be applicable. And in optimizing all this, we can have an ideal state where cost is minimum, quality is optimum, and delivery is appropriate. So what the large industries are doing, like Maruti or maybe BHEL, they can hire industrial consultants who do work study, who guide the large companies to remain lean and to reduce the cost of production. But for micro and small enterprises, it is very difficult to hire those consultants. Here, the government has chipped in, and government provides the consultant support, who guides the entrepreneurs, a group of entrepreneurs, to become lean. So lean is essentially reducing non-value added activities to become competitive. Means the activities which do not give any value. Customer will pay you only for value addition. Whatever you are doing in your company, it is not his headache. He wants product. He wants good product. So he'll pay for good product. So lean tells you how to reduce non-value added activities and how to reduce the fat to become healthy and handsome. There are generally 8 kind of wastes in manufacturing sector. There's number 1, defects, which I have also spoken earlier, that we sometimes manufactured defective items which the customer do not accept. These are returned or rejected, or maybe we have to do rework. So defects is a waste. Then overproduction is a waste, because by overproduction we lose a lot of money by its storing, by incurring interest cost, or occupying our space. Overproduction is also a waste. Then waiting. Suppose you want to undertake one operation, and you are not getting raw material, or maybe electricity is not there, so you're waiting. This is a waste. Then non-utilized talent. You are not able to deploy people on the right place. Then transportation means you are carrying the products from one place to other just for nothing, just to because you do not have space, or because you have mismanagement or mistake. So this transportation is also a waste, extra transportation. Inventory, too much of inventory is another waste. You should have just in time, means you should have the raw material whenever you need it. Over inventory is it's a big waste. Then motion means you are moving the things in your factory which is not required. So if your line is not laid properly, this generally happens that you are wasting a lot of energy in motion and then extra processing. So to reduce this waste, Government of India will give you support as a consultant. You can hire, you can make a group, you can hire consultant, and government supports up to 90% of this consultant cost. The consultant charge generally, we are paying 36 lakh rupees to the consultant for 18 months, and 90% of it is being paid by the government. So this is to remain lean, thin and lean for the MSMEs. Thank you very much. You have listened to me with such a patience. So I'm ready to take any questions, if any.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful deliberation on the topic, that is growth of MSME in India. You have almost covered all the schemes of the government with regard to MSME sector. I have received one question, sir. If a MSME changes state like from Delhi to Haryana, then he needs to get new MSME registration as his GST number will change for the proprietor firm. Am I audible, sir?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। क्वेश्चन में क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि यूनिट जो है वो
ये कहना चाहते हैं सर कि मेरा जो एड्रेस, मैं प्रोप्राइटर हूँ, पहले मैं दिल्ली में था, अब हरियाणा में शिफ्ट हो गया, तो क्या उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन मेरे को नया लेना पड़ेगा?
If you shift from Delhi to Haryana, the Udyam registration of Delhi you have to cancel and you have to register for Haryana. Number one. Number two, if you there is a possibility of multi-location units in the same Udyam registration. Suppose your one manufacturing is in our headquarters is in Delhi and your unit is in Haryana, then you can enter the data for Haryana also, and you will get all the benefits of Haryana also. But GST registration, if you are selling the products in Haryana and Delhi, so both places you have to register.
सर, इस पे मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि मान लीजिए कि एक फर्म है जिसका फैक्ट्री दिल्ली में भी है, हरियाणा में भी है और पंजाब में भी है, तो मेरे को जो सब्सिडीज लेनी है, जैसे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स हैं या बाकी स्कीम्स हैं या रिकवरी स्कीम ही है, तो मैं किस MSME काउंसिल में जाऊंगा?
ऐसा है, जहां पर आपकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो रही है, वेयर यू आर डूइंग वैल्यू एडिशन, वेयर यू आर पेइंग टैक्सेस, वेयर यू आर गिविंग एम्प्लॉयमेंट, यू विल गो टू दैट ओनली ना।
नहीं, मेरी तो तीनों जगह फैक्ट्री है सर, तीनों जगह यूनिट चल रहा है, अलग अलग 3 सेपरेट यूनिट, बट पैन नंबर ऑफ दिल्ली ओनली। मेरा हेड ऑफिस दिल्ली है, 3 जगह अलग अलग लोकेशन पे 3 फैक्ट्रीज हैं, तीनों के एड्रेस उद्यम में इनकॉर्पोरेट हैं।
आपकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग तो हरियाणा में जो हुई है,
नहीं, तीनों जगह हो रही है
विल कम टू हरियाणा ओनली,
जहां हेड ऑफिस है।
नहीं, हेड ऑफिस तो सिर्फ अकाउंटिंग के पर्पज से है ना आपका।
नहीं,
आपकी
मैं वही कह रहा हूं,
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग,
मेरी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग तीनों जगह है।
तो जिस यूनिट की प्रॉब्लम है, आप उसी यूनिट की वाले डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाएंगे ना
जी। दूसरा क्वेश्चन सर मेरा अपना है एक, कि जैसे MSME रिकवरी प्रोसीडिंग्स में आर्बिट्रेटर फैसिलिटी अपना कंसाइलेशन के बाद अपॉइंट हो जाता है, तो आर्बिट्रेटर जैसे आपने बोला कि जजेस और सीनियर पीपल होते हैं, वेदर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स आर इंटाइटल्ड टू इम्पैनल एज ए आर्बिट्रेटर?
अभी तो उन्होंने हरियाणा में इन्होंने मोस्टली जजेस को ही कर रखा है। मोस्ट ऑफ आई कैन शेयर लिस्ट विद यू ऑफ आर्बिट्रेटर्स। CS को अभी मेरे ख्याल से नहीं किया है।
नहीं किया है। क्या ऐसा सजेशन हम दे सकते हैं हर मिनिस्ट्री को?
यू कैन रीच आउट टू द काउंसिल।
ओके, तो ये जो इम्पैनल्ड है, हमारी चॉइस रहती है कि ये ऑटोमेटिकली आर्बिट्रेटर हमारे अपॉइंट करते हैं?
नहीं, कोशिश ये करते हैं कि उसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाले को दे दिया जाए ताकि इजी रहे। बाकी चॉइस तो आपकी तो नहीं मानेंगे ना वो।
ओके,
चॉइस में तो फिर वन कैन बी बायस्ड।
ओके। सर एक और बहुत ज्यादा है, जैसे 2 जुलाई 21 से ट्रेडर को भी लिमिटेड पर्पस के लिए इंक्लूड कर लिया गया है। लेकिन अभी भी अगर हम विकसित भारत की बात करते हैं, जो हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी कर रहे हैं कि बाय 2047 हमें विकसित भारत बनना है, तो ट्रेडर की एक बहुत बड़ी कम्युनिटी है सर, जो एमएसएमई के बेनिफिट से वंचित है अभी भी। जैसे आज रिकवरी का बेनिफिट आया, 43BH का बेनिफिट
ट्रेडर
आया।
ऐसा ना, आपको ट्रेडर पता ही नहीं ना कि चाइना का माल बेच रहा है कि कहाँ का माल बेच रहा है, तो हाउ यू कैन प्रमोट दैट?
सर वो तो अगर चाइना है बेच रहा तो इंपोर्ट कर रहा है चाइना का, तो
नहीं
उसका
तो ऐसा है ना, गवर्नमेंट जो फैसिलिटेट करेगी वो तो इंडियन प्रोडक्शन को करेगी ना।
हाँ सर, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि प्रोडक्शन की बात ना करके, जैसे सपोज करो मैं किसी एमएसएमई को ही सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ, एमएसएमई का ही माल बेच रहा हूँ, और वही एमएसएमई मेरी पेमेंट नहीं
This
दे रहा।
becomes too ambiguous, suppose a trader is if you're talking of Haryana, and a trader is selling goods from other states, how Haryana will support it? This is a well thought, I think, consideration कि वो अभी, and then kitty is not so big that there are reasons which are beyond my scope of discussion here, but हम लोग इतना ही कह सकते हैं कि अभी कुछ नहीं है।
जी
Why it is not there, this is not in the scope of my discussion.
ओके तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर वंडरफुल डेलिब्रेशन एंड स्पेंडिंग योर वैल्यूएबल टाइम। तो फ्यूचर में भी आपको हम इनवाइट करेंगे सर, और चाहेंगे कि आप लोगों को इनलाइटन करते रहे। तो थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर योर
Thank you.
वंडरफुल डेलिब्रेशन।
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Sanjeev sir and Manoj sir, for giving your valuable time and a valuable session.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you, sir.